it'd be a shame if I had to kill you if you said anything.
I told you about killing people, dude.
I want to find out what's underneath that mask.
I'm not wearing a mask. I have fur.
And I think this is a good moment, if you guys want, could have a group meeting.
Oh my god, thank God.
Y'all are like, oh my god, he's gonna say in the episode.
Yeah, I know, I was like, no.
We were all expecting it.
What the twist?
God.
Kite's in the helm, like linked in with helm, holding the like controls as tightly as he can at the moment. Like, we almost lost it. We've had it for like 3 days. We've almost lost it. Or not 3 days, but like we've had it for such a short amount of time. I almost lost it. Oh god.
Is he saying this out loud?
No, that's just the way he looks. It is the vibe you would get off of him if you saw him.
That's just the energy his buddy is radiating.
Cal's gonna reach out to everyone, like via helm, and he kind of just goes, honestly, I feel like there could be a much better time, but with the way things have been happening, we should probably have a talk.
Sure.
I think it's time for a family meeting.
Yeah, no, sure. I'm just gonna start real quick and say, I got in a bunch of trouble earlier. It wasn't fun. The group that I've been working with for a couple of years now, that I've been on the fence anyway, might be like experimenting on using living beings as batteries, and that's kind of fucked up. And also,
I'm sorry, what?
We have to find something to replace the Yggdrasti. I'm obviously looking for a non-living source of magic in the area, but yeah, that's what happened earlier when I had to go. I essentially got court-martialed, and here I am.
That's gross.
That's a strong start.
Yeah.
Wait, is Kite hearing this? I'm sorry, I might have zoned out for a second.
I think we're all in the front, right?
Okay.
Or at the very least, like, this is like we've spoken to each other all before through home. So
Oh right, yeah.
So like over the, I guess what I'm thinking of is that like Alexa didn't tell anybody that she mind connected with home, so I mean she can hear
this
this,
is true.
but she can hear it for sure. But I don't think anybody knows that she can hear it.
No, at some point Cal goes, oh shit, fuck.
Gotta go get Lux.
I gotta go find Lux.
Oh, and I'm gonna go find Picasso. Sweet lad.
Lance, you find Picasso no problem up in the crow's nest. He appears to have gone into a little bit of a dormant state, a dormant camouflage state. He is just like a big, when you get up to him, he is like very still, and he just kind of looks like a really big starfish. But as soon as he like senses you, he like pops up, and like you get like that happy kind of chirp noise that it makes.
For sure. I scoop it up and we'll head back down for the crow nest. But
yeah, absolutely. He'll like, backpack with you as y'all want to do.
Cal goes to find Lux. Is she like in a room or?
Let's see. She's probably also actually on the deck, probably looking for any more signs of the red strand of hair she saw, but not finding anything.
Cal watches her for a moment before choosing to walk towards her, and he's like, "Hey, I think it's probably about as good a time as any for all of us to, commune and have a family or team meeting, so to say, about the kind of everything."
Family or team meeting.
Yeah, whichever idiom floats your boat.
Okay. Sure.
All right. Yeah. Cool. I guess we'll just all meet in the cockpit. That's where Kite is, and yeah.
Okay.
He slips his duster off, and Cal just looks tired in this moment.
I'm sorry for leaving.
Huh?
I'm sorry for leaving with Lance without saying anything.
There's a couple of different emotions that flash through Cal's face before it settles on one of understanding. Because that takes him back to a moment where he's like, oh, right. The same thing I teased Lance about, like, I was on edge. Like, I was angry. Like, I felt myself starting to slip again. And he goes, honestly, don't even worry about it. That was stupid, and you two are also like impulsive, and it happens, and I'm sure you did have plenty good reason. It's been a lot today. You know that.
Yeah. It has. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. It's nothing that a little rest won't fix.
Insight.
Okay.
Dom, go ahead and make a deception or a persuasion check. You can roll that privately if you want. They just say the number.
Hey, can I have Itzel for advantage?
Bork?
Sure.
Thank you.
He bork. That's fair. You guys just got all these lovely companions that you can use to give you advantage on things. It's fine. It's fine. It's cool. I forgot how to whisper DM rolls.
Just
Oh,
yell.
you could just say it.
All right. I'll just roll this separately. A 9.
Got him.
So with the 9, what does Lux see?
Lux with this insight and like having seen his face, settling on a tone of understanding, she also saw flashes of annoyance, but most importantly, extreme shame before getting to where he is now in understanding. And so what she can pick up off of him is that for some reason or another, he would just rather not talk about that.
Okay. I think she acknowledges that he doesn't want to talk about it. But there's something that just kind of softens, and I guess what is showing on her face. Like her eye just like softens for a moment. And she just says, "Okay, let's do this."
All right. Follows her on down to the cockpit.
Kite's still radiating the exact same energy of, oh god, oh no. We've had this for such a short amount of time and it's already been stolen from us.
I almost wonder whether or not it's like a little bit like doting mother energy too, right? Like, you know, when like your kid gets like a scraped knee and they're like, oh, precious, sweet baby, you know, like
a little bit, yeah.
Where's your brother?
It's like you're too good for this world.
Is that when we walk in? Telling home you're too good for this world?
Probably. Okay.
Oh. We probably could have taken some ship parts while we were in there. It's kind of a chop shop, huh?
Oh, it was kind of a chop shop.
Hindsight is 2020.
Hindsight is 2020, sure. Lance will check in with Helm and say, Helm, were there any sort of mechanical adjustments that happened to you while you were gone?
It is great to hear all of your voices. I'm happy to report that the Pixies were unable to make any modifications or did not have enough time to do so. I also managed to stay incognito. I do not believe they were able to ascertain the explicit nature of the Spelljammer Helm myself.
I'm really glad to hear you're safe.
I knew that you would be coming back, you and the rest of the Nexus.
Oh.
Can I? Obviously, conversations need to happen. Can I take a closer look at the journal?
Sure, go ahead and make me an insight check.
Okay. Can Lady help me?
Sure.
She's reading over my shoulder for a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. I'm going to say you find some things that are a little bit counterintuitive. While you were at the Court of the Dawning's lair, you saw lots of posters and iconography and stuff set up that looked like that was kind of very like radical, like we don't need the courts, fuck the glom, like kind of rebellion kind of post. But when you look at the journal, you get the sense that this person was downright bootlicker.
Yeah.
They were a cog, and it goes on to further say that that the Dawn and Lieutenant Persimmon were basically manipulating the rest of the Pixies, saying, "Oh yeah, we're all about the free court, and we're gonna go start our own Court of the Dawning out here." But they were actually working for the Glom. They had been not told, but like it's a little bit more of an informal, like you get the sense that it's more of an informal deal of that the Pixies had been pressed to lay some heat onto a few different groups in Valheaven. It doesn't say why the Glom wanted this, but it does mention the Shambling Hounds as one of these groups.
And when it mentioned finding an interesting spelljammer, does that seem to line up with them getting Helm or like the Nimbus or a different spelljammer?
That's correct. That's the latest entry.
Okay. Well, oops. It's not great.
I will also say you do notice with the 20 insight check, you do make note of a couple of other the other groups that they seem to have been tasked with messing with. They are the Church of One, the Idol community that's based out in Valheaven, and some of the merchants who make up the Omega Bazaar, which is basically the big wild bazaar where everybody sets up shop.
Yeah. I think I would pass all this info on as we're all kind of here in the bridge.
Absolutely. I'll go ahead and post those names of that group too.
Thank you.
So yeah, y'all are assembled in the helm as Lance is kind of telling y'all this information that they have gleaned from Lieutenant Persimmon's journal.
Oh, and just kind of reiterating, since Lux wasn't here, there was a whole situation with the satellite. I had some knowledge about who designed the satellite, and I didn't realize that necessarily meant that it was a part of my organization. But then it does turn out that, the pixies who were harassing Kite weren't full of shit. There was actually a pixie who watched us free the Yggdrasti, which was intentionally placed there by my organization, and they were intentionally using it to siphon power, and I got in trouble, 1 for lying about it, 2 for letting the Yggdrasti go. And basically, I have to find a replacement power source. It would be nice if you guys wanted to help do that. But I'm not gonna make you. But yeah, I'm in a lot of trouble, essentially. I got pulled in front of like the big wigs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, wait, actually, I have questions about that. I heard you say that before, and they're mad at you for releasing the tree?
Yeah. Apparently, they not only knew the tree was there, but it was part of an experiment they were working on.
Well, but also, you weren't even the one who released it. Cal did.
Yes, but I should have stopped Cal, in their opinion.
They don't care.
Exactly. They're holding the Riot Nexus accountable, but at the end of the day, like, I'm the one who, like, if you guys go off into the night, they're not going to hunt you down for doing this. It's like, I'm really the only one that's going to get in trouble.
That seems stupid.
Well, so does working for an organization for 2 years and then find out that they're like experimenting on live creatures. I don't know. So,
yeah, that's also bad.
There's levels, and I've been very pressed for the past couple of days because the person who designed the station, that I was hoping maybe they were at least somewhere here in town, but apparently he skipped town recently. was, I would say, an old friend, but I don't know if that's even true. But essentially it was like the person who convinced me to join my group.
Can Kite make an insight check about the relationship between this person and Lance? He just wants to know if it was like deeper than Lance is letting on.
Sure. I'm going to say go ahead and just make that check. I think that's going to be a DC. Well,
I rolled an 8. Kite can't tell shit.
Yeah, I think Lance is wearing their mask in this moment. Not physically, but like emotionally, they're not giving any details away.
Okay. Kite will just kind of take a moment and then say, so that's where you disappeared to? Left a note?
Well, I left because I was doing, I spent several hours just working on math because that's what I do. And I found something big and I wanted to celebrate. And so I was like, let me go find a bar. And one of the closest ones was like, it was sort of like when you go somewhere that's not your hometown, but your hometown is like kind of like popular, and so there's sort of like a touristy sort of restaurant where they're like selling you the experience of that place. It's like that kind of thing, and I was like, it'll at least be like cute and familiar, I guess, even if it's kind of annoying and like whatever. So I went and did that, and I had a couple drinks there, and when I was leaving I received a message that led me to the door, and then I arrived thinking like, oh, I'm gonna be meeting up with and then it was me being court-martialed. So
why won't you say their name?
Because I don't know if there's a name.
Oh. Okay. I actually don't know anything about what you described. I've never experienced anything like that, but I believe you.
Yeah, it was just like someone that I thought was close to me, and then maybe we weren't actually that close, and I was just kind of like convenient. Or maybe like a feather in his hat or whatever. And
I understand. That part I get.
Like, I haven't seen him in 2 years, and I feel like I'm always kind of like 2 steps behind him. But this is the first time it's ever been like, oh, like I missed him by like 5 days. And then I got court-martialed, and that was like frustrating because the person who was kind of the like lead judge, I think, was trying to get under my skin, but I might have been reading the room wrong. But at the same time, he said something kind of pointed. But then like lady had this really cute drawing, and I was like, I'm gonna focus on this instead of fighting you in the middle of the lobby, and I left.
Okay.
So that's where my night has been. And I just kind of needed to be active, and I am sorry that Lux and I just kind of flew away into the night. Oh, also the person who ratted me out was the fucking Pixies, and also what's his face, the mechanic.
Marv?
Yeah, Favre.
Man, I knew I didn't like that guy.
No.
He fucking ratted me out for letting you guys, or letting Cal let the Yggdrasil go. And I'm like, I feel like that was a good thing to do, but apparently not, so I don't know.
I'm sorry that I brought you trouble.
No, I would have done the same thing. I was preparing to do it. Like, I think that it was the right thing to do.
Kite's ears are doing this like little like swiveling thing where he's like he's not like changing the direction he's looking, but his ears are swiveling back and forth between the people talking. I felt like it was important to note.
Sure.
But as he's like kind of looking at the ground, he goes, how are we even supposed to know? If anything, that was Favre's fault. He didn't tell us that we needed to leave the tree there.
I said the same thing, and apparently he's getting reprimanded separately. But
well,
neither here nor there, apparently.
I guess that's a little better. It
Yeah.
doesn't really make me feel much better. How are you feeling about the set in that case? This sounds like it's kind of... He kind of looks at Cal and Lux and just kind of accepts that they're going to be here for this conversation.
Wow.
Wow. And then they kind of turn their attention up to Lance and actually ask, how... It seems like this has kind of changed your perspective on them. Are you okay?
It's just like I haven't been super vibing for a while, which is why like the two of us keep going and doing like kind of random bullshit for them instead of like doing actual missions. And this is just kind of another straw on the camel's back. And I don't know. I do want to get this thing done, so I could have the choice to just kind of step back. But I feel like if I try and leave now with just doing nothing, I might get in more trouble, which like I don't know. But at the very least, probably do this thing just so I can kind of take a step back at least.
Okay. Yeah, I can see where you're coming from on that, because I wouldn't exactly want another thing after us right now.
Yeah.
And the set kind of knows a little bit more about us than a lot of other places.
Yeah.
He
So
just
what have you
starts
guys
to look
been up
troubled.
to? I was like gone for several hours and it feels like a lot happened.
Kite looks like mildly ashamed of himself.
Well, a lot. Someone from the Knights Accord came onto the ship and left something for me. Kind of like what you were saying with having to get something done. I also have to get something done. But it was concerning because I did not know, and I don't know, how they knew where I was. And my boss would not tell me. I think she was... When I started asking questions, she told me to know my place, but I don't usually ask questions.
Al gets kind of a knowing look when she says that.
I feel like that's not something anyone should say to an employee.
Oh, buddy.
Whoa. Okay. Employee is a word.
I don't know what your relationship with them is exactly. I'm sorry for getting so upset, by the way.
You have every right to be afraid of me.
Well, I'm not really afraid of you, Lux, in particular. I am not a fan of anything you've described about the Knights Accord. Especially now that you've also said this. That kind of phrase sounds like something I would hear my dad or my brother say. Which usually means it's not good.
I don't exactly match the description of somebody who would be a part of the Knights Accord. But
it's a cabal of hot murder ladies. What do you mean? No, Cal actually says this under his breath.
Lux gives him a look.
Kite also gives him a look.
What?
I do feel like the word hot there was an interesting addition that kind of colored the rest of the sentence. No judgment. I'm just saying, like, it felt like a choice to add that one in.
Yeah, Kite's like rubbing the back of his head, and he's like, I thought the two of you were just friends.
How many Knights of Core agents have you met?
Lux.
He looks at Lance.
I've met Lux and a few other. Well, not necessarily. I don't know them as well as I know Lux, but I have, like, in passing, met a few. They are all very pretty. They have a very specific aesthetic.
They are baddies.
Listen, it's not my aesthetic, but I respect it for them.
What's a baddie? Does that mean they're a bad person?
No, like they're hot.
Oh.
Lux, she looks so uncomfortable at this conversation. She's like, okay, anyway. What I meant was where I come from, I guess. It doesn't really match what everybody else comes from.
Oh, it doesn't match how?
Well,
You're not from the same place?
Lux, pardon me if this is maybe a little forward. You don't necessarily match where a lot of people necessarily match a lot of groups, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't.
I don't know exactly what it is, but you have an interesting sort of the people in the set, we kind of have like a secondary vision kind of thing. And you have an interesting sort of vibe to space and time around you that I can't totally place.
Would Kite also know that she's got that vibe? I can't remember if we determined that he did.
I can't remember either. I just remember Lance.
Yeah, because he's got the crown energy magic. That was more a question for Timbo.
I think now, yes. Like, as now that Kite has kind of awakened this ability to see the the timeline shifts, right?
Mhm.
What was the word that we had used to describe that werewolf?
Proprioception.
Right. Now that Kite's proprioception had awakened, and they were able to see this timeline phenomenon, I think definitely they get the same sense.
Okay. Okay.
And it's nothing that I necessarily have to do anything about. Otherwise, we would have already had that discussion. It just is something I've noticed and have maybe intentionally not brought up when I go do reports.
Lux shifts a little bit where she is.
Maybe we should talk about what your mission was, Lux.
No, you should.
Yes.
You should.
What did the mysterious stranger leave for you, Lux?
I'm supposed to go to a Sharon outpost.
Okay.
I need
I
to
will
take
say,
care of it.
personally, might cause some problems. I do think they are who have my bounty. I don't mind doing it. I'm just letting you know. I maybe stole a ship and blew up another, but it's fine.
Wow.
She seems kind of amused at that.
Yes, blowing up things is sometimes the answer.
Wow, we got a lot of blower-uppers here.
I knew we had more
Excuse
in common.
me. I guess it's the three of you, isn't it? Kite for a moment thought he was being lumped in, and then was like, "Wait."
Kite, you kind of do the opposite of blowing things up.
Yes, exactly. That's why I was offended.
You kind of implode things.
That's true.
That's exactly why I was offended when I thought he was lumping me in. But
Sure.
if he's not, it's fine.
Wow.
But on that subject, I feel like if I don't say anything now, that we perhaps will not. I don't think I'll ever say it. So, the reason I am so off from everybody else is that in an organization that seeks to restore the natural order of life and death, I am an anomaly. I have died before.
Oh, okay. I mean,
Okay.
I don't know if
And
you've
you're
noticed, but your
like-
friend here kind of has implied that he's died before.
They just
Cal looks around like,
they're just like cool with
who's he talking
that.
about?
Like they know that about you.
Yeah. It was a weird situation. It wasn't like anything we'd really seen before. I was underground. And a necromancer had like come in and tried to, raise this entire graveyard that I was a part of, but I was somehow more sentient than every other thing.
Like you came back really well.
Yeah. I mean, all things considered.
What are those things?
If you don't.
If
mind
that's
telling
yeah,
us.
yeah. If that's not too personal, I should say.
She takes off her mask and her eye patch, and you see just like this white eye, like completely white. And she pushes her hair back, and you see like scars on the side of her face that look like they've been like mended back together.
Oh.
And she'll show you other parts of her arm, gesture to the one with the prosthetic. There's some metal on her knees.
This is the first time I've ever gotten a good look at you.
Yeah, that's on purpose.
So, sorry, I'm trying to fully understand. You're a highly sentient zombie that was brought back by a necromancer?
It's
Sorry for lack of a better term, but
it's different. I don't understand it, but it seems to be different enough that my boss doesn't care, thinks that maybe it was some kind of, I don't know, divine intervention or something. I'm not sure, but so many other people don't see it like that. It's just a weird situation that's not like the undead being raised. It was like I never fully died.
Well, and it's also not a problem of like time displacement, so we're
Yeah.
good. It's interesting. I mean, listen. Personally, I feel like I know you better, but this doesn't necessarily color you in any sort of light, in my opinion.
I just want to say, because I don't think he would say anything about it, but there is a light in Kite's eyes that is pure and utter scientific intrigue. It's like he's focused on some arcane magic user put you in this state, and he wants to know more, but he's not going to ask because it feels like a social misstep to do so.
He's like, wow.
Yeah.
Can you remember anything about before?
She pauses for a good long while, but she ends up saying, I've been trying not to. I don't know if I want to, but the more I keep hanging around with all of you, the more things remind me of what life was like before, but it doesn't always feel like it's a positive thing. I think it's kind of a distraction. I'm very focused on what I do. I work alone. That's why my boss utilizes me so much. But now she wants me to keep an eye on you three, which I assumed was busy work, but I don't know anymore.
I feel as if you should also not feel like your boss utilizes you. Just saying.
It's
That
just the
being
only
said,
place I know.
fair, okay, but so the other thing here is how do I put it? There's a lot of fucked up temporal displacement involving myself and my family. So I could very well be the reason that she asked you to look after us. But maybe I'm wrong?
I feel like any of us could have been the reason, but I definitely think that a grouping of all of us together is what definitely pushed her to want to know more about all of us. Know more about all of us and track us. I'm very sorry, Lux. This can't be easy for you.
It used to be.
Yeah, and then feelings get in the way.
Lots of things used to be easy for me, too.
Lex looks at Kite.
I just used to have a lot of resources behind me. I could basically get away with I could basically get away with whatever I wanted so long as no one really paid enough attention to what I was doing. So I'm not really good at being scrappy.
That seems like a lie.
I mean, I'm getting better at it. I was definitely worse when Lance first found me. And he kind of looks at Lance for confirmation, which, I mean, like, Kite was, like, openly walking around and not even concealing how he looked when he met Lance, so...
Yeah.
You have lightened up. A little bit. Since I met you.
Are you referring to my ability to sneak?
No, you're still bad at that.
Okay. That was a choice. Okay.
You know what? I'm just gonna pretend you didn't say that.
The corner of her mouth kind of turns up.
She does smile.
So I think, if it's okay with everyone, I'd like to go make a stop by the Champlain Hound.
Yeah, I think as much as I dislike the idea of it, I also feel like we should give these pixie bodies over.
What did you guys do at the Champlain Hound while we were gone?
Oh, he showed us some really sick people. Like, not sick as in, like, ill-mannered, but, like, sick as in, like, medically sick. You know, I probably shouldn't have explained that.
I think, yeah, this has just been like a very tense moment, just in general, of everyone just kind of having big revelations, and I think this is the point where just like Lance starts giggling, and he's like, you know, you can take the kite out of the Billowing Mountains Regency, but you can't always take the Billowing Mountains Regency out of the kite. Is that so? I heard you mention cadaver stuff. Is that what this is about? Is helping the sick people?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I would be willing to give the bodies over for the research, even if we did not receive money for them.
Yeah, I'd feel better about that, honestly.
Yeah.
He was just so weird about telling us the truth about that.
He was being
Sure.
so cagey, but he eventually did show Cal and I what he was doing.
Yeah, he was just so weird about it.
And it does seem like it's on the up and up.
I'm gonna say, since y'all are discussing this as a group, go ahead and make y'all can make either an insight check or just a straight wisdom roll.
It's my turn to have advantage. I'm switching to my aura sight.
I got 11.
Insight, you said?
Insight.
18.
Or just straight wisdom.
18.
Can I also do wisdom and see which one's better?
A 14.
I'm gonna say Cal and Kite. Since both of y'all were there, both of y'all saw the sickness in question. I think while you're talking about it, you have a bit of a realization in this moment of Mad Dog, a man who wears a mask, covers his face, obviously goes by a fake name. Having a patient like this, since he, as he described it to you, that this might be a one-of-a-kind individual in the bubble, you get the sense that Mad Dog is very nervous, if not terrified, of being recognized for who he might potentially be.
Oh,
Oh.
shit.
And I think you both have this kind of like realization of being like, man, why was he keeping all this to himself? Like, you kind of make that connection of be like, oh, he's probably wanted as much as we are, if not more.
Yeah, I think he could just be a heavily wanted individual. Maybe more than 60 billion double platinum.
I mean, that's pretty tough to beat.
Do we always have to say the number?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're gonna harp on mine, so...
Actually, I do have a question about that, considering we know now that you are from the Bellowing Mountains Regency.
Yeah, Lance did say that, didn't he?
Just now.
Yeah.
You're a feline person.
Yeah, it does feel a little bit obvious.
Are you-
But assumptions.
Are you doing time magic?
Me?
No. But I think that someone around him was.
I mean... No, I do time magic. All of the magic I do is time magic. That is correct.
Oh.
Is it a familial thing?
He kind of like pauses.
Okay, everybody. We've all let people come to say their truth when it's their time.
No, Lance, it's okay. It's not a familial thing. I chose to learn this on my own. I will say because of my family, I had access to the information, but I chose this on my own. It's not because of my family.
Cal has nothing but like pure curiosity on his face now. And he goes, would you be okay with talking about why they want you so bad? And apparently why they refuse to put a price tag on it?
I mean, they probably want me alive because they probably are hoping that I'll get good enough at time magic to do things with it that they want me to do with it. They want to be able to control me because they know that I have an aptitude for this sort of thing.
I mean, it also probably isn't a good look for them. They're a pretty public family, one might say. To have a child missing is, you know.
I'm sorry, hello?
I mean, my family's not that noticeable.
Honestly, can I just roll like an insight so that Cal can put 2 and 2 together?
I'm gonna say you definitely insight check Kite in this moment. Kite, make a deception check. I'm gonna say a disadvantage because that was terrible. That was so guilty sounding.
Oh, my deception is +0.
Oh god.
Okay, I'm gonna say you can make an intelligence check in this moment at a DC 20 to be able to put 2 and 2 together.
DC 20. Oh, Timbo, how you hate me.
What are you gonna roll on this die?
I gotta roll a 16.
You can do that. No problem. 16.
So anyway,
So you rolled a 17. There we go.
17s.
Double 17s. What did I say? Cal, too many things line up in this moment that a creeping feeling that you had building in the back of your mind, that creeping feeling that you've had in the back of your mind, a suspicion, it becomes a tidal wave that crashes down on you, and you make a big realization. Would you like to share it?
Are you a child of the royal family?
What? They're our good friend Kite, and that's important to remember.
He puts both of like his hands on like the back of his head. And he's just like, ooh.
I am Kite in the Wind, the second son of the Mistral Castle.
Oh, I've been away for so long.
I am not the heir, but they do want me back, probably. But I don't want to go back.
You weren't even like a thought the last time I was in that sector.
I don't know when the last time you were in the sector was, but
Yeah, we should
probably not.
certainly have a conversation about that sometime, Cal.
Cal's just like, it's like those words don't penetrate him, but he goes, no, they can't get you. They cannot.
And they can't get Helm.
Yes, obviously, but
No,
also they cannot. get you.
I mean, they'll be fine without their spare son. They'll give up on it eventually. I feel like Helm is more the risk.
Lex looks at Cal, expecting some kind of explanation, especially since this whole family meeting, quote unquote, was his idea.
This is your fault.
I mean, like, she kind of had to talk about, like, her whole thing at some point anyway, and then, then the Lance thing happened too, and then the Kite thing happened, and
I feel like this is all being said through facial expressions.
Okay, yeah, I get it. I understand why you're so cagey. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it like...
Did you just imply...
No, not like... I just realized I said that, and then that it could be misconstrued as me saying...
No, it's okay, I understand what you're trying to say.
Just keep going, Cal.
I'm just messing with you.
All that said, if I'm even remotely anything to go off of, they are not going to give up on trying to find you.
I mean, in the nicest way possible. People like me don't live as long as people like you.
This is true.
So
and that also means that they're going to try harder.
I guess that's fair. I feel like eventually my brother will be in charge, and, you know, he doesn't want me around. If anyone's looking for me, it's my parents. So.
Yeah, but also they want you back because, like, you're the only person that could possibly completely upend everything that they have been or will be. You don't understand. Like, they want you so bad because you're an opportunity for change.
Oh? I guess you're, in a way, maybe. I don't know entirely how much change I could bring. Being just one person.
Cal rolls his eyes at that.
To protect this single ship very desperately.
Singular people can affect great changes all the time. Actions ripple out endlessly across the astral sea, yada yada yada, some poetic bullshit.
That didn't sound very poetic to me. It didn't even rhyme.
You're very right. It didn't.
Sorry.
But I think that maybe you're downplaying your importance.
Maybe. I didn't really think it was that serious until I saw that bounty. So.
These fucking bounties. Oh.
Who's flying helm right now?
I am.
Lance, as you are flying helm, you are heading back over to the Shambling Hounds. You're like maybe a few minutes out. I will also say, Lux, you recognize that time has been passing fairly swiftly at this point, and y'all have maybe an hour and a half to get out to the outpost before it has gone past respite. So you are starting to run a little bit lower on time.
Okay.
Lance, as you are piloting the ship, continuing the conversation, but also, paying attention to the space around you, make your way over to the Shambling Hound's den, You are
Oh,
You cut out, Timbo.
sorry. Thank you. You are just pulling up to the docking bay when, almost as if like in a outward motion, you are like your senses are drawn out from the local into kind of your piece of magitech that displays the local area, that also shows the displacement of time as well as other things that now that it is plugged into Helm. And you see that there is several of those blips that you had noticed before, like the depressions on the map. There is still one very much centered on the Founders District of Respite, but there is something new that has come into your more local sensors. And you see that there is one of those blips heading quite close towards you. And and with that, I think we're going to go ahead and call the session there.
Ooh.
Okay.
Thank you so
Ah.
much. What a great session, y'all. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming out. Thank you to all the lurkers, chatters, everybody for being here. We're going to go around one last time so you can find out where to catch my lovely party and the various things they're doing in various places. Werewolf, why don't you start us off?
hello. I remain Werewolf BF. That is where as in the question, wolf as in the animal, and the letters BF. You can find me basically everywhere there. I am here every Sunday for Timbo's 2 stream D&D campaigns that he DMs. I was supposed to be on Blood Island tomorrow night, but we're pushing back a week just to kind of recalibrate a little bit. So actually 2 weeks. So we'll be back on September 4th will be my first night for Blood Island. But yeah, you can just find me, hang out. I do all kinds of TTRPG things.
Excellent. Cannot wait for that Blood Island game. I'm super looking forward to that. Galaxy.
Hi, I'm Galaxy. You can find me at GalaxyBot at most places. Galaxy is always spelled with an IE for me. And most of what's going on with me right now is that my debut novel is coming out November 3rd. It's called Feathers of Dawn, and pre-orders should be opening as soon as I figure out how to do that.
Hey.
Cannot wait to pay you money for your words. Excellent.
Thank
you. Next we have Rach.
I am Riotous. She, her. I've been Lux this evening. And you can find me at twitch.tv/Riotous and I don't know, other places. I can't stop playing Baldur's Gate. So haven't been streaming that
Other
much.
places.
Who can? Who even can?
Who even can?
Amazing. And Domino.
Hey y'all, I'm Domino RBG, and I've been Cal this evening. You can catch me on Twitter at Domino RBG. Same goes for Blue Sky. Same goes for Tumblr. And you can also catch me here every other Sunday here on Torn, and then in a recurring guest role on Sigil, which is every other Wednesday.
Yes, excellent. Thank you again, everybody, for being here. This Wednesday is Sigil, actually. It's going to be a great game hosted by The Sesh with me. Riotous is playing this week, and as well as Mish and Grems, of course, naturally. It's going to be an awesome game, and I cannot wait. And then Sunday, we have the next episode of Dungeon of the Mad Mage. Things are really kicking off. The second floor has been mostly conquered, but there's still some really interesting paths left. And I can't wait to see where the party goes next. But thank you again, everybody, for being here. Thank you to all the lurkers, chatters, everybody for being out here. And thank you again, Mushroom Soup, for the resubscription. Super duper appreciate it. We are going to go ahead and raid on over into my good friend. They are doing a Baldur's Gate 3 stream. Surprise, surprise. But thank you again, everybody, for being here. Like I said, we'll be live again Wednesday, 7 p.m. EST. But until next time, I hope you have an excellent rest of your Sunday, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.